We're a high-tech composites parts manufacturer, so that means that we make carbon fibre components for all sorts of different markets. We work in the automotive, aerospace, space, marine, high-performance sports, motorsport. We work in all sorts of different markets all over the world as well. So we have factories in Auckland, New Zealand, and also in Subic Bay in the Philippines. And most of our projects are international projects, and some of them are smaller, domestic prototype, that type of thing. It's a manufacturing business and lots of workings going on inside to manufacture parts for all these different types of customers. Correct. So to begin with, we were sort of, the usual sort of startup business, working out of Excel sheets, emails, Microsoft Teams, things like that. But we wanted to capture more information and we wanted more control on our sort of procurement and scheduling and costs. So as more projects came in, we needed a solid system to support that growth and to make sure we were running within budget, on time, and hitting the KPIs that we were setting ourselves. Yeah, sure. So I think it was really just having a bit of order to the information, a place where everyone went to obtain the information, and then it was then ordered with correct manufacturing orders, job numbers, job titles, all that type of thing. So it was a place where the whole company could start to focus on. It was sort of like a center point for our information. We weren't really knowing where we were getting to with our build times and also the cost of all the goods. So it was a bit of, we were very open on our profit and loss. We didn't really have any accuracy or were able to drill down into the details. So it definitely helped having an MRP system. Yeah, sure. So we actually did quite an in-depth comparison and took about 12 or so other ERP, MRP systems, to name, I guess, a few of them. We looked at Smartsheet, we looked at SAP, Microsoft Business Central, we looked at First Resonance, NetSuite, Able, Fishbowl, Katana, and Aspect as well, which is more of an MES system. So we did a pretty good evaluation of this, and then we ended up with MRP as the most suitable for where we are as a business and the maturity and what we needed out of the system. Yeah, so, I mean, when you're in a startup business, you're always constantly evaluating your own time and where that time is spent. So you wear many hats in the early years, and we still do now. But it's we're looking to sort of spend our money in the right place, and none of us had a great IT background. So bringing on someone to help us with an implementation of system. We also wanted a few other things like integration with our accounting system with Xero. So we knew we were going to need help with it. So we thought it was better to partner up with someone that could provide the software, steer us in the right direction, so we didn't make too many mistakes from day one, and to get as close as we could to a sort of like a finished product after the implementation, and then be able to take it from there. Sure. So I think it was, we went through a few options here as well and did our review of them. I think it was like definitely a company that really understood manufacturing. They weren't just selling us software here. They actually had support to understand the problems and the things you were trying to achieve. We also wanted the integration with Xero, and that was something that Cohesis could supply as well. And yourself, Jamie, you come from a background of know the accounting side, but also the business needs of an MRP system. So we were able to discuss sort of nuances and specialities that we have our manufacturing process that isn't the same as others, and we were able to figure out how to work that in to work for them easy, the best we could. So we definitely had some special requests with tracking of materials, out life of materials. We had all sorts of things that we needed that might be different to other companies. So it was definitely good to have someone that could help us on this journey. Yeah, it was really, really good. Really satisfied with the whole process. I think it was done at the right sort of pace. We were quite sort of demanding with the timeline, and in reflection, we were probably sort of trying to do something too quick for what we could actually achieve with the work on our end. So we couldn't actually really keep up with the implementation in the end when it came to staff training and things like that. So we actually ended up sort of slowing it down. But overall, I found it quite I learned as I went along that the people that we had on the job were perfect for it as well. They understood, they were well suited to manufacturing, understood it. So it went really well. I think, overall, we ended up with training videos that we've gone back to like weekly when we're working our way through doing something for the first time or bringing on a new employee. I can always point them in the right direction to the correct video, and it's worked out really well. So it's like sort of like bespoke training that we can always rely on again. So it's been really good. I mean, I think probably already answered that in a way. Like we weren't coming from another system, so it was really about sort of pulling out of me and Leo and Sean, like what we were trying to get out of the system, really, and a lot of it was unknown. So I think you were great partners and sort of bringing us along on the journey in a way. It ended up being with us directing you at the start, so you guys taking over and taking us on the journey. So I think it worked really well. Yeah, sure. So we're still quite new days with it at the moment. We're not using it as much as we'd like, but it's definitely we got a much better handle on our procurement side, things like that. I think there's still a lot of room to work on the scheduling side for us and how we work that in with our special processing. But as far as improvements, we can see that we costed a BOM correctly. We can see that we sort of scheduled the build out correctly. We can see what are going to be the holdups when we get a new job. We can enter it into the system and we can see what would be the realistic lead time on it, rather than committing to something that we can't achieve. So it's been really good on that side of stuff, but I think we have loads more use to get out of it yet, as we sort of like become more familiar with it. Well, we've opened 2 factories in the last year almost. So now it's about sort of, I guess, like cementing the way, building a really good foundation and building on what we have now. So it's maturing our processes and it's growing the business, getting new clients, all that type of thing. But I think it's more about this maturing of processes as we go through. As we bring in a new client, there's new requirements, there's new design, there's new processes with each job. So we really need to be able to keep moving, be agile with our systems to make sure that we can take on different requirements from different customers. But the future's bright. There's plenty of work. We're doing all sorts of weird and wonderful, exciting projects at the moment. Some of them are going to end up in space. So watch this space, basically.